this isn't even their final form.
And we won't see that probably ever again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And that's awesome to see.
No matter what, we're gonna be rich.
Yeah, okay. I see that.
It's certainly interesting.
Wait, what now?
Oh, evil!
Well then.
Oh my god.
They came in the right order too.
Red, 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 red.
Oh yeah. Wait, what now? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tavern Talk, THL's first and sexiest recap show. On tap tonight, we have the one and only MVPness. He will be joining us, because sometimes people don't like to be my co-host. Feels fucking bad, man. Our house rules are, as always, the feels whatever, man. Power Rankings Power Hour. I couldn't come up with one, so fuck green. And whenever we get to that playoff talk, because there's going to be a lot of that tonight. So, let's go ahead and get right into this thing and introduce the man that's sitting to my left, your right, Mr. MV Parker. How are you tonight, sir?
Oh, doing good, doing good.
Doing good, man.
MVP-ness.
And then down there sitting on his pile of potatoes, doing what he always does, the man, the myth, the legend, the potato farmer himself, Mr. Mange. How are you tonight?
I'm great. You know, speaking of potato farming, Rogue got another win.
Rogue got the win!
I mean, we're just the best goddamn potato farmers around.
I heard that Rogue was a bad Hearthstone class, but this Rogue seems to be a fucking baller.
Yeah, it still is. Fuck Rogue.
This is actually one of the most important weeks we've had in a long time in THL history. We have a lot of throwdowns that seem to happen in the final weeks as you know seasons evolve and so on and so forth. But there are so many fucking matchups this week that have so much weight on them. And I can't wait to get into the Week 7 preview. So let's go ahead and knock out this Week 6 review. And let's get things kicked off. You know what, Parker? Because I don't have the document up yet. Why don't you, Parker, start us off with your upset of the week team-wise and tell us why you chose it.
Oh, my upset of the week was a good one. Team Golden Wisp beating Aeon. They beat him pretty handily, 14-9, with them taking the wins with Hupnar won, Alec Golden Wisp won by DQ. Dark not playing his match or submitting classes. I'm not sure which one, but got DQ'd. And then Sunshine taking the win over Missing Shoelaces. Aeon's now lost 2 weeks in a row and risk, not getting a playoff spot. So that was a big win for Golden Wisp. They really shook up Blue. Blue now is pretty a wide open race. I actually think all 4 teams can make the playoffs.
Yep.
With all of them playing each other, so it's pretty. They left the door wide open getting that win.
Yeah, definitely a big win. Team Golden Wisp put together. So far, the season's not done yet. As you said, Blue's wide open, but they've put together a pretty damn good season. Being a team that used to. I don't mean this in a negative way, but when the first couple seasons they were here, they were kind of a meme, and they've learned the THL and they've stuck together, which is something I really admire about Team Golden Wisp. I thought they've had a pretty successful season this season, whatever ends up happening in Week 7. So good job to Alec and the guys over there at Team Golden Wisp, and we'll see how that plays out in the playoff picture here when we get to Week 7. Mange, another great pick, but let's go ahead and talk about your upset of the week.
Yeah. So all season long, NWA has been killing everyone, and Temporal Legends went up against them last season and won for, I think that it's either the 3rd or 4th straight victory. I'm really bad at the show, so I don't know what it is offhand, but that was really huge because, like I said, NWA has been running away at that division, and the Temporal Legends winning that put them in a position, along with Entropy, to potentially make playoffs in red, that 2nd spot. So that was a huge upset for them.
To kind of double dip and play off of yours, you got. Well, oh, sorry, that was Parker's. I was going to play off. If I just opened the document and looked at the correct week. I'm down here looking at Week 7, and what I'm going to say down there. But Temporal Legends has made a late season push. I think around Week 4 or 5, somewhere right around mid-season, we had kind of talked about them having an extreme uphill battle and being highly unlikely that they would be the Paladins of tomorrow. Um, but putting together some solid wins, I do believe it's 3 in a row, and if it's not, the loss was a good showing. Uh, Definitely winning over NWA, who was sitting on top of the division, was a crucial win, not just for Temporal Legends, but as you said, for Entropy, who's looking to stay relevant in that race. My
Yeah.
upset of the week went to the imploding Harry Generals, losing to Netherstorm. And we were sitting here last week talking about whether or not Netherstorm had a chance. And I believe it was me actually that brought it up. Could they make a late season playoff push? And I think we kind of unanimously agreed. I even jumped on the bandwagon after you guys spoke some logic of ain't no way in hell they could do it. Well, no way in hell means they're 2 points behind a playoff spot
Yep.
currently. So it wasn't simply the fact that they won. They also won pretty handily, holding the Harry Generals to only 8 points, with Poker holding it down and everybody else getting a single victory on the Harry General side. And big win to Netherstorm. Um, Bandwagon. I'm bandwagoning again, Netherstorm. Um, and Gemini taking down the Dag hype. You know, a lot of folks were kind of throwing some Gemini hate out there. I know you guys can't see me, but I'm pointing to myself. Coming through with a huge win, taking those words as a challenge, and shutting us up with a 3-1 win over the very dominant Dag this season. So good work over there at Netherstorm, and that will be my upset of the week. Moving on to our Shockers team, because guys, I really just want to get into Week 7, but I don't want to ignore the fact that Week 6 happened because it set up Week 7. But Mage, who do you got for your Shocker, either team or player, of Week 6?
Yeah, I was really surprised that Crowman beat Markshire. Markshire has had a ton of success, and Crowman has struggled a little bit in the 2 seed, although lately he's been stringing together some wins over there. And then, just looking through the results this last, I saw that Crowman ended up winning, I think, 3-1, which, yeah, he won 3-1. So that's a really nice win for him. I mean, it's our segment's called Shocker of the Week. It's not like a huge shocker, but it was something that stood out to me as a really nice win for him.
Parker, who do you got?
I had
There we go.
Gemini over Dag. People had been down on Gemini, so I think it's not as big as a shocker as you think. But people were really up on Dag, so to see Gemini come out and get that win, that was a pretty big win for her and her team. Really, they really needed that win to keep their playoff hopes alive. Now they're right in there, right in the mix of it.
Yeah, that blue division. Oh, baby, I can't wait to talk about it. I threw out there a good old team battle with Temporal Legends being NWA. We touched on this already, but the win wasn't just a victory. It set Temporal Legends up by holding NWA. I mean, I guess 12 points is a lot. As far as it goes when you lose, it's not far off of the max you could have while losing. But giving themselves and everybody else in the division by keeping NWA from having a 20-point week, from keeping them from getting that 17 plus 3, and really kind of opening up the door on red where I kind of thought all avenues were closed there. So my shocker of the week, as we talked about earlier, is NWA losing to Temporal Legends and opening up that red division in a big way. All right, so what did we learn? This is where I really want to get to. So much shit happened in Week 6. What did we learn pretty much in the blue division, guys, about the Harry Generals versus Netherstorm and Aeon versus Team Golden Wisp? Is the blue division as locked up as we thought? Do we expect it to be Aeon, Harry Generals up top? How do we see it going based on what we saw Week 6?
The only team that I expect to make playoffs for sure is the Generals. Their lead is too great. I don't have any other expectation after that. Aeon has completely coughed up their large lead. Another storm of surge. You have no idea what you're gonna get from the Golden Wisp. So, it's just I have no idea what's gonna shake out.
No idea, boys.
Literally none. I learned nothing.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be really close. The Generals do seem to have a pretty firm grasp on it. But, I mean, it's not impossible for them to be out. They play Aeon. But I'd say if this was a race, Aeon's, trying to finish with the flat tire right now because they're having some rough
THL.
weeks. And the other teams are having really strong. Netherstorm was so far down early that I'm pretty sure not very many people thought they even had a chance to even be in this conversation. So you can't really count them out. And then the Golden Wisp have been playing really well too. So it should be close. Should be
Flat
exciting.
tire, boys.
Flat tire.
Oh man. So I actually love the fact that Parker, you ended up being on tonight because we've seen a new format when it comes to the power rankings. This video roundtable sort of situation. For those who have not yet seen it, it is posted on the Facebook page. I know we're used to seeing it within the blog of the THL website. And if you don't have Facebook, I apologize. I don't know if we have it listed in YouTube or anywhere else. I'm pretty sure it's just on the good old Facebook.
Hey, we're gonna do YouTube. We're gonna do YouTube this next week here. So
Get on it, Lemur.
Get on it, Lemur. The fuck? Fucking Lemur. He must be from Green.
Lemur.
What a bunch of shitters. But you guys put a lot of thought into this week. I know there's a bunch of folks that were kind of upset with, it not being the weekly points report. And some folks shocked that they're lower down on the list than anybody else. With you both being here and the soapbox being available to you, is there any logic you want to give to some of these teams that are wondering why they are as low as they are on the list?
nah, fuck them. Get better, win more games.
I think
Go ahead.
the best thing I have to say is that we're not putting out a weekly point standings. It's power rankings. If you ever watch sports, Appalachian State could be undefeated, but obviously they're not as good as Alabama. Like, it just clearly makes sense. So I don't know. I guess just realize that we're not putting out a weekly point standings.
So just to give you guys the rundown who may not have seen it, because I know not a lot of eyes got on this, but running from 16 to 1, we got Synergy, the Yogg Champs, the Damaged Ones, Danger Zone, Avatar, Entropy, number 10 is Aeon, Team Golden Wisp, Noob Central, Defias Brotherhood, Netherstorm, Top 5, Temporal Legends, NWA, at 3, the Hairy Generals, 2, Team 1600 Gods, and rank 1, Team rank 5. Not to be assholes, but it's us again. Or whatever the fuck you guys said. So, real quick, guys, I just want to hear your take. Actually, it's mostly Parker, because I've heard Mange's take on this already. Parker, when you look at Team 1600 Gods, we were memeing on them weeks 1 and 2 as Team 1200 PR. And to have them finish in the last regular season power rankings at number 2, what do you think about that?
Oh man, they're really good. Like, we played them week 1 and they didn't do very well, but to my understanding, I'm pretty sure it was like all of their first experiences with like any tournament format, conquest format, anything like that. So like there's definitely a steep learning curve, and they kind of hit the ground running after week 1. I don't think they've lost since then, right? Like, pretty sure they've beat everyone.
They beat everyone since then.
Yeah, and pretty handily, a lot of them. So yeah, good. Congrats for them. Like, we had them really low, but we didn't really know anything about them, and they learned quick.
1600 hype.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
good.
1600 gods.
Some of it is in the green division a little bit, but like they're still all like really good players and pretty good for their seeds. So, like, they're like, come playoff time, they are going to be a really tough out for whoever's against them.
Yeah, well, they're not very many points off of that 100 mark, which currently, right now, you only have Team Rank 5 and NWA above 100, and you've got Team Golden Wisp. I know we have a few results in already. I'm not sure if the standings on the front page are live or if they are as of the end of last Sunday.
They're live.
So they're flirting with that 100-point season, which is kind of like your aim in THL is that 100-point season is it's something kind of special. So shout out to Team 1600 Gods. First off, for embracing the meme and not taking it like a bunch of cucks. And second, for putting together an awesome season. Green division or not, you still have to go up against a pretty stacked orange division. And you don't score nearly 100 points just off of your own division. So they got some points off of orange too. So good job for you guys. And shout out to Team 1600 Dust. Do I have the fucking thing? The other thing, the player power rankings? Do I have that?
I don't think that's been released via text yet. Maybe not though.
Yeah, I don't have the one I'm seeing here is still Dag at 5-0, which we know is not the case. So
Yep.
we're gonna skip over player power rankings and move right into what all the fucking hype is about. Week 7. So many teams looking to play their way in currently to the THL. You know, let me just link this. I know everybody knows how to get to the fucking website. Guys, it'll be a lot easier to understand what we're talking about if you just look at the standings page right there on the front of the Team Hearth League site. Red Division has 3 teams in the mix. Blue Division has 4 teams in the mix. Green Division has 3 teams in the mix. And depending on how things go with the damaged ones, the argument could be made that Orange has 4 alive. It's a fucking huge uphill battle. Actually, no, Defias has shut them out now. Sorry about that, damaged ones. But you have 3 alive in Orange Division. So out of our 16 teams, you really only have 3 that don't have a realistic shot of getting in right now. What a fucking way to close out a season. So,
Yep.
Mage, who are you most excited for team-wise and why?
We have 2 actual play-in games, meaning that the winner of the matches are getting right into the playoffs, and that is Noob Central and Defiance, and Entropy and Temporal Legends. So, like, you know, this morning I woke up, I refreshed results page. Tomorrow I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna refresh the results page. I'm gonna, my eyes are gonna be on both of those matchups, pretty much the entire weekend. It's so cool to see playoffs a week early.
Right? It's a lot of people are a little disappointed that we didn't do a wild card play-in. This week kind of feels a lot like a wild card week. It's technically week 7, but it's as you said, you have so many play-ins. There it is. So I'm sorry, man. Should you name specific teams in there, or did you just name the whole fucking?
Noob Central and Defiance, and Entropy and Temporal. Those 2 matchups specifically.
So I also went with the Entropy and Temporal Legends. So let's get Parker's take on this as the third party that put something different. Parker, as you see Entropy and Temporal Legends facing off this week, how do you see that playing out, and who do you think has the edge as of right now?
Ooh, with Entropy versus Temporal Legends?
Yep.
Um,
Mind you, we have
well,
one result in.
yeah. Like, I would have said Entropy, but I honestly would have had Smoked Salmon pretty favored against Chigmo. So to see that, to see him lose 3-1, that's, ooh, I don't know. I think it'll be really close now.
That's a big early win for Temporal.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the matchups that you'd think that they'd struggle in most.
Yeah, that's probably one of the more favored matchups. I feel like Entropy would have been favored in. So I think from here on out it'll be really close, with a lot of really close matches. I have no idea. I think it's before I saw that match I would have picked Entropy for sure, but now I don't know. I'm gonna call it a toss up.
Mage,
Okay,
what?
because my Blizzard client just informed me that M-Bulk has signed into HOTS, so he's ready for his Hearthstone match. Clearly.
Oh, he's ready.
Clearly ready.
That's how I practice for my match.
You do have Imbolc going up against Hector, which they've met a few times in Wicked Wednesdays in the past. There was a point in time where Imbolc used to walk away with every Wicked Wednesday beef jerky money, and then Hector came in and took a few. So there's a Wicked Wednesday rivalry there. But as you look at the rest of the lineup there, Mange, how do you see this playing out, and who do you give the early edge to?
Ignoring the Smoked Salmon result, I would I think I like Entropy for most of them. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what to think about the bottom of the lineup just because they've both struggled so much. Uh, Surprisingly struggled. If like gun to my head, like I had to pick it, I'd pick Entropy to move on, but it's tough. Hector might be slightly favored over Brian, but Entropy should be favored over the rest, in my opinion.
So, to kind of play off of what you said there, I think that this matchup comes down to Brian versus Hector. Now that Salmon has dropped, the way I see it playing out is 2-2 in the bottom half. And then it coming down to those big dogs up top. So, guys, don't worry. We will, by the end here in the pick, put a gun to Mage's head, and hopefully his decision does not change by then. But we might, as we continue to talk about things such as Noob Central versus Defias. Defias has been a hype fucking situation for me all season long. I'm happy to see them flirting with that 100-point season, but they have the noobs standing in their way between them and a rookie season playoff berth. You have plenty of vets on Defias. You have Boom Boom Hall, long time. He was a 1 seed for the Harry Generals at a point. A-Roy is, I believe, in a second season, but this might is this his first full, or was he full season last year?
No, he was full season last year, and this is a second full season.
All right, then you got Comp, former 1 seed, rocking down there. I mean, you have 3 former 1 seeds in the top 4.
Yeah.
And then AO is not too shabby of a player in their own right. So you got the studs of Ray C and Nate over there on the Noob Central side. I just called Nate a stud. I kept a straight face while doing it. Let's
Nate
get it.
The stud.
Let's get into it. Mage, you brought it up. Why are you hyped, and what do you see the storyline being?
Well, we've been kind of keeping an eye on both teams all season just because they're in orange. But I've been kind of really enjoying Defias Brotherhood and the way their team is built just because, like we've mentioned before, it reminds me of like our old teams of the past. And I think that's going to be the strength that helps them win because they should, like, with A-Roy beating Thor Smash, 3-1, I think Comp and Hamboen should both be favored in their matches. So if you just pick chalk down the line, that would lead to a Defias Brotherhood 3-2 win. And I think that's what's going to happen.
Wow. Parker, can you disagree, or is this kind of how you see it going?
Before the results coming in, honestly, I would have picked Thor Smash to beat A-Roy, so I feel like they got an upset win there. And if you come in Discord, you'll just hear me and A-Roy arguing because we see Hearthstone from completely different points of view. He plays to have fun. I just play to win. And like he just wants to like the matchups, he'll play the decks he thinks are fun rather than the decks that have a better percentage to win against what he's going against. So for them to get that win, and he's had an incredible season, I still think that's an upset. So I don't know, maybe it's closer, but I would still have to give the edge to Noob Central.
The noobs. Yeah, I can't say that I agree with you on the noobs taking it. I do think that I do think Ray C gets the win over Boom Boom, but I think that Comp and Hamboen pull out the victories. And I don't know what to make of AO and Ham, to be honest with you. Ham's been doing his thing for a little bit now, but I haven't really seen anything out of AO to doubt an 11-point PR difference and really call that a underdog situation. So we'll see what happens down there, but I definitely think in the middle of the lineup, A-Roy to Hamboen goes to Defias, and Boom Boom just has to try do the best he can with the Ray C situation. I don't think he has to win it. I think Boom Boom just needs to get a couple wins in there, get a couple points, and do the best he can to hold on.
Put some points on the board.
Yeah. Now, Parker, you went with a good old Blue Division matchup over there. Tell us a little bit about your pick and why you chose it.
Yeah, I chose the Netherstorm Golden Wisp match because both of those teams are teams that like earlier in the season I wouldn't have. Early in the season I would have picked Netherstorm like preseason, but like after 3 or 4 weeks, both these teams started off really slow and looked to be kind of out of the race as Aeon and Generals kind of ran away from them. But it seems to be that they're both like have a really realistic shot to get in there. So I think this match is really exciting to see. Both these teams are kind of on fire recently, picking up big wins. And I'd like to see how this match goes. Which team is on fire more, and which team can try and put up a lot of points to give themselves a chance to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I see that this as being possible landslide for either team.
Yeah.
And with Aeon facing off against the Harry Generals, I don't see either of those two teams as really getting a lot of points this week. This might be one of those 1 point victories between the Harry Generals and Aeon. So Netherstorm and Team Golden Wisp can make up a lot of ground if they could win 4 out of the 5 seeds. Or, it's not impossible for it to go a sweep for either team. I know that seems like, oh, he's fucking sitting on the fence coin flipping. But if you look at their lineups from top to bottom, I could see it as being a very momentum heavy thing. If one team can get a couple wins early on, I could see the rest of the lineups just falling in favor of that team. You do have a little bit of a mismatch at the bottom of the lineup with Swanky Tiger and Gemini appearing to be the favorites over Jupiter's Cube and Sunshine. But these are two teams that have had hot hands lately, and this is why, for instance, in power rankings, it's not strictly scores based off of data because their PRs are lower, but it doesn't mean that they haven't been playing above their PR level as of late. So I'm really interested as well to see how this one plays out, and if one of those two teams can really put on a heavy push to lock up that playoff spot. Mange, you got any thoughts on this one?
No, I think you guys covered it pretty well. I'm equally excited to see that, just because, as Parker said, after 3-4 weeks, they were both really struggling, so you wouldn't expect them to be where they are now.
Yeah. So shout out to, but if whichever team loses this one, or if they both get eliminated, I think they both have had seasons worthy of building upon come season 5. Nothing to hang your head about. So who are we most hyped for as individual players? Mange, go.
I really like the Nade Comp match. Nade's a shit captain, but a pretty good player. Comp seems to be a pretty solid captain from what we hear, and also a really good player. I'm really sad that that's not going to be streamed anywhere. Or is it streamed? I don't think it's on social
I don't
status.
think so. Let me double check. I have that list here somewhere. No, it's
Nade,
not.
stream it or no balls.
It's not, but we need to find a way to make that happen so I could laugh at Nade. But honestly, it's two really closely matched players playing with a lot of stakes on the line. So that's super interesting.
I'm just gonna call Nade out and tell him he should stream it bite style. We'll have to watch those.
Yeah, I'm down.
Nade has streaming ability.
I know. Stream it.
The only excuse he can have is that he's got to. No, he has no excuse. Fucking stream it, Nade.
Let the people see it.
And his ship won't even matter with the bite style stream.
So, what time? Murdoch says he'll stream it if he's not at work. So there's even if the players themselves can't make it happen. Look, no fucking excuse. I often feel bad picking a 1 seed matchup because we don't often give light to the 4s, the 5s, the 3s as we should. But sometimes there's a 1 seed matchup you just can't fucking deny is amazing. And this week we have Double O's going up against Cheesy, and it's just two fucking studs going at it, man. Double O's has had a hell of a season this year, and Cheesy's last year's MVP, one of the highest rated PR players in this league. That should just be a fucking great time. That's another one that if we could find a way to get it streamed, it should happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Vicious Syndicate fight.
Oh boy, they are the two experts. The priest versus the hunter expert.
Yes.
They better be bringing the class of their expertise.
Well, Double O's isn't an idiot, so he's not bringing Priest.
Oh man. Parker, who you got?
Oh, I picked the match that's going to be streamed in about a half an hour, just because Bites
Yeah.
is one of my favorite. I look forward to Bites match every week.
Yeah.
A, he always plays the memes, and B, he's always entertaining to watch.
Yep.
And he's playing against Slimps this week, and Slimps has got some pretty cool decks himself, so I'm excited.
Pretty neat. Slim.
Bites
Pretty neato.
Always one of my favorite watches. Like, he's the best. He's one of my favorite players, period.
Oh,
So-
so good.
So guys, if Slimsh goes out there and gets hurt this week, we gotta make fun of Mange. We told him to bench his players so they don't get hurt. So if Slimsh breaks a fingernail or gets a hangnail or something tonight, we gotta give Mange shit. Also,
Yeah.
if you notice, Tavern Talk is kind of cranking along tonight. We're doing this so that everybody that's watching right now can watch the Slimsh Bite stream that's going to happen at 9:30 real standard time. So, don't
Oh.
make us rush through Tavern Talk and not watch the fucking
Hype.
meme poopreem. All right, so promised you we were going to put a gun to Mange's head.
Don't.
And we're going to make him choose things. We got the pick'em for this week. Actually, hold on. Before we get into the pick'em, because I accidentally put Salty Saturday too low down, and we just talked about Week 7 preview, let me go ahead and give everybody the Salty Saturday lineup before I forget. We got a good one this week with a couple of new players that I'm sort of like. I don't know if I'm excited or scared or what to see what happens here. But first off, we got 9 o'clock kicking off with two vets of the THL. Lemur himself versus Jing that's the Green Division matchup between Avatar and Danger Zone. This one has some playoff implications. That's the 2 and 3 seed of the Green Division. Danger Zone can win their way in. So hopefully this match will have some weight on it, and we won't have results that tell us that one team has eliminated the other before then. Coming up next is Trainador versus Spiver. I don't know anything about Spiver other than
Nope.
his intro that he gave us for the first Tavern Talk that I didn't read word for word was fucking hilarious. So, new face. I always love to see new faces on Salty Saturday and get some more information about these players I know very little about. Synergy is eliminated statistically from the playoffs. But 1600 Dust would like to have this win just to remain on top of that Green Division. I don't really see them dropping 14 points to Avatar this week, meaning in the standings. They're not obviously playing against each other, but it's always good to just make sure you're going into the playoffs as highly seeded as you can, especially when you're trying to avoid Team Rank 5 Round 1. So the nightcap, I keep losing my tab. The nightcap's a good one between two more THL vets, as Adidas of the Yog Champs goes up against Salt of NWA. Yog Champs, once again, statistically eliminated from the playoffs, but they could play spoiler to NWA, who's looking to hold their 1 seed over Temporal Legends, who's 10 points down from them. So we'll see what happens there. All right, so now Salty Saturday has been talked about. The pick'em for the week. Currently, Mange is rocking a 6-3 total with the 2 ties. I know exactly what I'm talking about with a 4-6 total with 2 ties. And our guest finally dropped one because we had Lemur on last week, and he's a fucking shitter. So our guests are now 8-2. I would like to remind people that our guests were 7-0 before Lemur came on. So Parker's looking to pick that back up for them. All right, boys, here we go. First one on the pick'em list. Entropy versus Temporal Legends, and for the record, this was put up before any results were in. We do know Salmon's there now, but how do you see it playing out, Mange?
Ah, fuck me. I'm gonna have to go with Entropy.
Entropy, man.
Because, yep.
I actually, and this is not the biased answer, this is how I truly think it's going. I think that Entropy is going to pull this one out, because if they don't, they become the meme of the season, and I don't think they want that. Parker, how you see playing out, man?
Oh man, this is a close one.
Paladins of the past.
The Paladins of the past or the Paladins of the future? I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Entropy here.
Wow.
I think it's gonna be a close one,
Wow.
and I think Smoke Salmon losing's a big loss for them. So they're gonna have to pick up the slack.
That definitely feels bad, man. The salmon losing and Entropy being picked as a sweep might be the jinx. We might have just jinxed my boys. All right. Do the Hairy Generals continue to implode against Aeon?
Oh man, 2 teams that don't want to win, right?
Right?
Nah, Harry Generals will be fine. They got it.
Hairy Generals?
Yeah.
Shit. I can't. I was hoping that you would give me a little more insight than just your pick.
Crap.
Because the 3 and 4 seed of Aeon puts question marks there for me.
Yeah. Basically, I feel like that the Generals are one of the few teams that can match Aeon at the 1 and 2 spots. They do have a bigger advantage in the 3 spot. But 4 and 5, like the Generals aren't going to lose, I don't think. So, or can Dank Randolph.
All right, so I'm gonna jump on the mange boat here, and I'm gonna go Hairy Generals as well. That was enough info for me. Parker.
You know, I'm gonna go the other way. I think Aeon, put some air in the tire and finishes strong. They had such a big lead. I don't think they're gonna want to throw that away and miss the playoffs. So maybe they come out this week and they submit their classes. Play your matches. Don't get DQ'd, and pull out a close victory. I think it's gonna be really close either way. So maybe they just land on the right side of the 3-2 coin flips.
Flat tire, boys.
All
right. All right. And last but not least, this is another one that when I originally selected it, there was no results, but we do know that Defias is currently sitting up 4 points to 1. Noobs versus Defias. Mange, who you got?
I have the 5 still for the same reasons I was outlining earlier. I think that the way their team is built, like not many people are going to be able to beat Racy in the 1 seed. So the fact that that's not favored is totally fine for Defias. And then the way that the team is built, strong 2 through 5, that's going to end up showing through the rest of the series, I think. So Aroy winning earlier was huge, and I think that the rest of Defias will be able to take care of business.
Yeah, everything you just said. The main point being Racy is the biggest favorite Noob Central has, and Defias is not too concerned with the 1 seed. The way the rest of the team's built, I think that they win the majority of the matches and come out ahead on this one. Parker?
Oh man, you guys are just gonna make me pick against you all day. I'm gonna go the other way.
Noobs!
Just for the sake of, I don't want to be the same cuck, just picking sweeps over here.
Already a cuck.
So, yeah, I think Aroy winning is probably an upset. So it's definitely an uphill climb for Noob Central, but they got some strong players. Racy, I don't think anyone sees him losing. No offense to Boom Boom Hall, but just it's Racy. He's pretty good. Maybe Nade squeaks one out. Maybe Nade just hits the face a lot. It's a good strategy, Nade. Try it. Just hit the face.
Hit the face.
Samson versus Hambowen. Maybe Samson squeaks one out there, and then
Squeaks one out.
Squeaks one out. And then Ham's really good. I don't know anything about AO, so I think Ham's favored there probably. Ham's really good.
Ham's quite good. Yeah, he is. But AO, he's A-okay.
Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. It's so funny.
You mentioned Nade. I think if Noob Central's gonna win, like Nade almost has to win. So like that one, it's even more pressure on you, buddy.
Well,
but,
as long as he remains a good, if he remains a good player, we could forgive him for being a shit captain.
Yeah, his match is just. I think it's the most important one for Noob Central.
So
Yeah.
to recap for the folks at home that like to know the picks, both Mange and I matched with Entropy, the Hairy Generals, and Defias. MV Parker is his own independent man. He don't need nobody else, and he went Entropy, Aeon, and Noobs. This could make or break our guest defeating us this season. Mange, you're
Oh, I'd
you're
love
our
to
only
break
hope.
that.
You're our only hope, Mange. I'm
You're
out.
welcome.
I'm out of this fucking race.
Oh, fuck.
Trying my best to help you guys out.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to go over it so Slim will stop fucking spamming it in chat. We did get the player power rankings up. I'm not gonna pull them up. He can link you the fucking thing again. But I will read the list off to you guys, and it doesn't give the overall record, but it does tell me wins and losses in individual matches. So coming in at number 10 at 15-8 is Loaded Lux. At number 9, new to the list, is the power bottom himself, Josh Sampson, at 12-11.
Squeaked right in there.
Making his appearance in the 8th spot, Rogue JT at 14-8. Phoebus coming in at 7, 15-8. Bork at number 6, 13-6. Dag Hype at 5, 16-7. MV Penis coming in at 4, up 6 spots. Huge jump for MVP Penis. 17-7.
Popsicle.
MV Poker. Wow. Coming in at number 3, Poker, also up 6 spots at 17-7. Number 2 on the list, A-Roy, 18-6. Apparently playing what you like is better than playing what's good. And holding it down at the 1 spot, trying to be the first ever 2-time MVP, the manlet himself, Slimch, at 18-6.
Jimmy!
He's the MVP of my heart, whether he wins it or not.
He might be
Oh.
the MVP of THL.
I mean,
I'll tell you this, he's the
Hey.
highest rated Jimmy in THL.
oh shit.
I'm not gonna fire that shot, but I'm not gonna disagree with you either. So there are your power rankings. I'm not sure if those will be put up on the blog or what, but there was a link. It's Slim. He's probably preparing for his match like a good little boy right now. If you scroll up, it's in the chat though, boys.
I think he's still memeing.
Is he?
I don't know. Yeah, see, he's still memeing.
Level 18, James
See?
Rayner, come
Level
at me,
18
bitches.
Jimmy. That's Jimmy in THL, man.
You guys remember when Jimmy wouldn't cuss or like say anything mean?
Oh yeah, Jimmy used to be like the most kind, calm, quiet dude. Remember when his first episode on Tavern Talk? He was so
Yes.
he was so gracious and quiet and soft spoken.
We cracked him wide the fuck open.
He joined Team Rank 5 and everything went to shit. Oh.
Ellie giggle.
All right, moving on down to our hot topic of the week, as it was proposed, and I thought this would be kind of just fun to give a quick minute or two on it, because in THL's history, we have never postponed a week. We have had expansions launch 2 days before the season started, and we've still rolled with it. With somebody suggesting that we should take a week off for BlizzCon, it brought up the question in my head of what would it take for THL to postpone a week, if anything?
I'm sure there's something maybe really morbid, or I don't know. Just there's definitely things out there that we halt play for. I don't think a team going on vacation, and is one of them. Like play the damn game in your hotel. It's fine. Like we had players play during a hurricane. Hector went on like a 3-week vacation, like some fucking island, and was playing his matches every week. It's like you can get done. You know,
Yeah.
BlizzCon's like, isn't that where everyone should like want to play their matches? Like that's
Playing
Hearthstone
at Mecca. That's playing at Mecca.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was a zombie apocalypse, I'd kick a zombie in the face and play my turn 1, tunnel trog. So
The THL goes on is the moral of this story. But here's the other reason I really wanted to bring this up is if you know something's going to happen that's going to make it difficult for you or your team to complete a week, we have a plethora of substitutes waiting to get in there. I mean, we have a whole developmental league. Actually, it's not even a developmental league. It now stands on its own. of SHL, and many of those guys are not on THL teams. So, you have a pool of players to pick from. So, there's that going for you. Find out early, let your team know early, get your subs in, and get some fresh faces out there, because we've had a lot of players find permanent THL homes after subbing for a week in the regular season, or a couple weeks if a player had to drop out for a little bit. So that's the real moral of this story. But THL goes on. We ain't stopping. Can't stop, won't stop. All right, moving on to our Q&A. Like all those SHL bad players, you're obviously not watching Piss. If you were watching Piss...
The Piss Boys!
Piss Boys!
He's on Piss. He's Piss's number one player.
He's the number one Piss!
Yes.
He's the best pisser in the league.
Oh, fucking A. All right, so let's get to the Q&A so we can make sure that we're all ready to go for Slim Bites. Smoke Salmon asks, should fourth place teams lead towards trying hard or having fun when it's extremely difficult to get into the playoffs at this point? I'll let you guys tackle this one first because I have a very definitive stance on this.
Oh, I got a good answer for this. Good reason you should try hard, even late in the season. Here's some good reasons why I think you should. If you're not planning on joining that team back, maybe the team didn't do so well, maybe the team's going to break up, maybe you just want to try a different avenue. You're going to want to win. You want to show these other teams that you're a good player, so they'll want to pick you up. So that's why I think you should try.
Memeing is fun, but I don't know. I don't really like it in the THL as much. Just for example, I don't think that they're out of it yet. They're not out of it, but Golden Wisp, it's they're last in their standings right now. If you pretend that they didn't have a shot at playoffs, if they were to meme against, I think they're playing Aeon. No, they're playing
Netherstorm.
If they were to meme against Netherstorm, and Netherstorm just racked up a bunch of points for them, just off of memes, you could potentially just gift Netherstorm a playoff spot, which is really unfair to the teams that played the Golden Wisp earlier in the season and had to actually fight for points and maybe didn't get as many. It's, I don't know. You have to give consideration to other teams when you do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point.
To kind of tag along with both of your guys' points, I don't think it's ever a time to meme because your team's eliminated for both of the reasons that Parker and Mange said. As somebody who used to captain the team that I now cheerlead and manage, I wouldn't pick you up if you were somebody that just threw away a week. Every game is an opportunity to improve, especially in this format.
Yep.
And if you're memeing while somebody else is trying, you are wasting that person's time. I used to get pissed when people played memes against me and I 3-0'd them after preparing all week. Now, there's a difference between just straight up fucking memeing and playing something that a lot of folks consider a meme, but you think you have a reasonable chance to win with.
Yes.
And there's always people that want to be the home brewing innovator, and somebody's got to do it, or else there's never going to be innovation. But just going out there and playing with no desire to win and just throwing your match out the window, you're wasting my time, you're wasting my team's time, you're wasting your team's time. And if I'm a captain looking at you next season, when your team kicks you off because you're acting like a cuck, I'm not picking you up. So don't meme. And also, fucking A, I was on a soccer team that went 0-11, and we won our 12th game. And the reason we won our 12th game was it kept our rivals from getting to the playoffs. And if I can't be there, neither can you. And if you don't take joy out of taking somebody else's pride away, you've never gate kept legend. So, fuck off.
Oh.
Yeah, that's an important distinction. Just memeing is one thing, but playing not to win is what I'm really talking about. Play to win.
I'll say this, during the off season, I've had some talks with Mange about, free agents and people who pick up. I'm pretty sure we're both in agreement. We would rather have someone that's a little bit worse of a player, but tries consistently, rather than someone who's a better player, but just goes out and memes all the time.
Yep, absolutely.
So let's see what's up next on the Q&A. I was reading the Q&A in chat, and the answer is obviously Pedo Bear.
Speedo.
Arcane THL asks, could we see another Avatar type team making a run through the playoffs that no one expects that makes the finals this season? I'll once again defer to you guys because I already have my answer and I don't want to influence yours.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Nah, you got it. You answer first.
I definitely think it's possible. There's a lot of teams that have a serious shot at making the playoffs that I definitely wouldn't have picked before the season. For example, Team 1600 Dust, I had them dead last. I'm pretty sure. Also, I didn't have the Temporal Legends. I had them like next to last. Team Golden Wisp, I also had really low. And any of those teams, if they made the playoffs, they could definitely make a serious run. Like Team Golden Wisp and Temporal Legends are both on fire. And recently, they had a slow start, but have really picked it up. And Team 1600 Dust has just been kicking butt since week 1.
Kicking butt. Mange.
Yep, absolutely. In a game like Hearthstone, especially, that makes for upsets. Yeah, anyone can beat anyone. All these teams are close enough where there's just no free wins. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see a team like that on a run.
So I look at this question and read it literally. Could we see another Avatar type team? So a team ranked 16th in the preseason rankings, coming out of the Green Division, and making it to the playoffs. Just substitute 1600 Dust in there, and it's the exact same story potentially. I think they could be this year's Avatar. Temporal Legends was 15, if not 16 on most lists, so kind of the same deal there. I do believe with recent results that have come in since the start of the show, Team Golden Wisp, unless Harry General's 0 Aeon, the rest of it, I do believe Team Golden Wisp is now eliminated. But we'll have to see. I could have something wrong here with the way the site's updating.
They can still get in if Aeon loses, right? Or if Aeon,
it's a 22-point difference at this point.
Right, but if Aeon, it's too.
No,
tough.
it's a 12-point. It's a 12-point. 12 points. Sorry, my apologies. I only teach math. I don't do math. My apologies.
If the Generals crush Aeon, and Golden Wisp, and then Golden Wisp beats Nether Storm, they have a shot.
Yeah, so apologies, Golden Wisp. Go out there and fucking cuck somebody to prove me wrong, please and thank you. Cuck them. Wow, quick math is not a thing I should be doing live. Anyways, let me regain my courage, my liquid courage, real quick. So I think that, especially with Temporal Legends and Avatar, we're looking at nearly the same exact storyline playing out, and both teams have the potential to do it, depending on what Temporal Legends do with Entropy this week. This last question, it was more of a statement, and we touched on it a lot, so I don't know how much more time we're going to spend on it right now. But Crovan, I'll read the statement, and I'll tell you how I want to turn this around. Crovan says, wow, looking at things again, there are 3 matches between second and third place teams that are pretty close in points. Gonna be an interesting week of Hearthstone. So, we got Temporal Legends Entropy. Aeon is playing the Harry Generals, but Netherstorm is right there with them. Avatar, Danger Zone, Defias, Noobs. So going through those lines, we're going to say in and out for each division. So, for instance, I'll go through it and say, I think Entropy goes in. I think Aeon goes in. I think Danger Zone, I'm going to say Danger Zone's going to go in. And I'm going to say Defias goes in. How do you guys see those 4 divisions in the middle there going? We're excluding the 4 seeds. I know there's 4 seeds within striking distance. We're talking strictly between the 2 and the 3 seeds.
I think that we have Entropys going in, Aeon going in, Avatar, and Defias. going in, respectively.
So let's see if Parker stays true to his pick'em picks. Parker?
So just the 2 and 3 seeds.
Yep, we're acting like the 4 seed does not exist.
Okay. Yeah, I think Entropy goes in. I think Netherstorm goes in.
Okay.
I think Avatar goes in, and I think the noobs squeak right in there.
Squeaking in, noobs. So we have a whole fucking slate of close races for you guys this week. Be checking in on the website, the live updates, what's going on. Hopefully, Salty Saturday will end up having a lot of weight to it. This should be one of the highest viewer counts we've had in a long time on Salty Saturday. This is one of the closest and most exciting seasons I've ever watched come to a close in THL. And I really love the fact that I'm not a player that has to be feeling the pressure of this right now. And even though I want to see my boys over at Entropy wave the flag, it's nice to know that that's not riding on me. So let's make sure that we're getting as many of these matches as we can streamed, even if you're not on Salty Saturday. As we said before, we're trying to wrap things up early here tonight so we can make sure that Slimsh and Bites get the coverage that they deserve. Maybe let's get some Friday night matches going, guys. Captain Murdoch said that we can make that happen with Nade and Comp, so let's make sure all these matches get out there for the folks to see so we can watch them live and stay up to date on it. All right.
Nate, stream your own match. Don't cuck us.
Uh-oh, my cat just broke in. This could be bad.
Shit.
Uh-oh. Fucking ninja cat somehow just opened the door. So before the cat ruins everything, let's go ahead and get to the parting thoughts tonight. We're going to start with our guest for the evening. Parker, thank you for coming on here last minute, man. Giving some great insight. Yep. What would you like to say to the folks at home before we part ways this evening?
Good luck to all the teams that are trying to get into the playoffs. And stream some of these matches, guys. Get them out there. Do it bite style. Just stream it yourself. Stream it. Let us know what you're thinking each play. You don't even have to say anything if you don't want. Just throw it up on the Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see some of these play-in matches. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Just make sure if you are streaming your own match, do not forget you need the 10-minute delay, even if it's your own match.
Yeah.
Yeah, please give Team 5 as much info as possible going into playoffs.
Please do.
Show us your deck list. Talk about why you want to do this. It's
fine. Mage, what would you like to say to the folks at home before we part ways this evening?
I ain't talking about chicken and gravy, biatch.
Biatch! All right, folks. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Next week will be playoffs, week 1. Season 4, it's all coming down to this. So we will get all your coverage of Week 7, what happened, why teams ended up where they are in the playoff mix, and we'll start that playoff hype, and it'll be an absolute shit show. It'll be a great time. So catch us same bat time, same bat channel next week. And please tune in to Slimsh and Bites coming up in about 30 minutes. All right, folks. Until then, bye.
Bye.